Hello, I've done a couple of projects in my bathroom. I made some hexagonal shelves, I've made a toilet roll holder out of oak, and I've put in an oak windowsill. And that's where I seem to dump my toothbrush and toothpaste, which is really messy and you often leave white stains on there. And I decided I need to do something about it. So I've done what I often do when I need inspiration, look online, through magazines and on Pinterest. And on Pinterest I found a couple of different options. I'm not sure which I like best, so they're only small, so I thought I'd make both. One's sort of a wall mounted option, the other is more of a test tube rack but for toothbrushes. Anyway, I've got a lump of oak and the first thing I'm going to do is rip it down to make the wall mounted one. I'm going for oak because that's what I did the toilet roll holder in, so it'd be nice to have everything matching in there. Right, I've got a square bit of wood, too long, but we can trim that down to length later. But now I think I need to work out where everything's going to go on it. So I've got my nearly used up toothpaste and I bought a new one just as reference. I've got some toothbrushes, some bamboo ones. Try to use wood when I can, and I'm not quite at the stage of making my own toothbrushes yet, but I'll put a link to these down below if you want to check them out. So now I think I need to measure the toothpaste and find a drill bit that's going to drill a hole for this to go in. Looks like 20mm will be about right to be able to get the toothpaste in and for it to not fall all the way through, even if it's full or empty. But it looks like the closest I have is 18mm, so I think that'll work. I think before I go any further, I am actually going to lay everything out and work out how long this all needs to be, and then I can get it cut to length before I go to the next stage. With it, the final length it needs to be, I can really see what I'm doing with the layout now. So I want the toothpaste tube to go in the middle, and I'm going to draw a line down the middle of this bit of wood so I can get that marked out. I'm going to use the pillar drill to drill this out. Now I have drawn a centre line and I can just keep putting the point of the drill on that, but what I think I'll do is I'll set up a fence, then I don't have to worry and I can just keep moving the piece along and drilling holes. The hole on this is rather jagged and needs cleaning up, but before I do that, I think I'll continue drilling the holes whilst I've got the drill plugged in, and these need to be 15mm, but I only need to drill one hole for each rather than a series of them. With all the holes now drilled, I can come back to cleaning up that jagged one. So I'm going to get it put in the vise and use a rasp to clean it up. So with the slot and the holes in, I think it's all going to work. Everything fits in there nicely, but it's still just a bit too chunky. So I'm going to get out some cookie cutters to draw around and put some curves on it. I also need some little flat spots so I can screw it to the wall. I'm going to use the bandsaw to cut these curves out, then I can give the whole thing a sand down. Right, so the last thing is to drill a couple of holes in either end and get them countersunk so that I can get it attached to the wall. I think I said drilling and countersinking those holes was the last job, but I'm afraid I lied to you. The last job is getting some finish applied. I've got some beeswax oil, so I'm just going to get this brushed on and leave it to dry. Once that first one dries, I can start the second one. So this is going to be more of a test tube hole to start, and what I have is a bit of tongue and groove oak floorboard. So now I need to rip this into some strips to make it. I'm going to go for 50mm wide to get the toothpaste in there. I'm going to make this out of 4 bits of wood that I'm going to get joined together with miters. So first I get the blade tipped over to 45 degrees. I'm going to get the first one cut, and then I can work out how long the top and bottom piece needs to be to hold the toothbrushes and the toothpaste. Get that marked out and then get all the other bits cut. I've got the 4 bits to go together. Now I need to work out where the holes will need to go for the toothpaste and the toothbrushes. I'm going to drill it out on the pillar drill, and I'm going to set the fence up the same and just get these 3 holes drilled. We've got all 3 holes. I think it'd be nice to neaten them up by adding a little round over. So get a bit, put my router and do that. I think just adding that little round over has really neatened it all up. So now, before I get the bits glued together, I'm going to give them a sand down. I think then we're at the glue up stage. So I'm just going to get some PVA, put on the corners, and then I'm going to use some of my Collins clamps to hold it all together. Just going to leave this to dry and then I can come and give it another sand down. I'm going to get this finished with the same beeswax oil that I did the other one, and then I'm going to leave this overnight to dry, come back tomorrow, and then I can decide which one of these I actually want to use. That's both designs done. Now I did think with the test tube rack one of putting little indents in the base so that the toothpaste and the toothbrush could sit in them, but then I thought they're just things that are going to collect water and dirt, and it doesn't really need them for stability. I think both designs will work well, but this really needs to go on a shelf, so that would be my windowsill, which is not where the sink is, as this one, the wall mounted one, could just mount above the sink. I suppose you could easily mount the test tube rack one on the wall, but I think I'm going to go with this one. So let's get it installed. Just got to get it in place and make sure I can get the toothbrushes out again. Yeah, that looks about right. So that's it all done. I think that's going to be neat there. Solves one more problem. I think both designs work well, just this one's going to work better for this bathroom. But a lot of bathrooms have shelves above the sink or by the window, so the other one worked well. Either way, I think these kind of little projects would be great if you wanted to sell them at craft fairs or online, because it's got universal appeal, and I think that's key. Every household needs a way of storing toothpaste and toothbrushes, and I'm sure your house does, and you could adapt the design. If you've got electric toothbrushes or pump toothpaste, you can change it to fit those. So, thanks for watching. Thanks to my patrons, and please subscribe for more videos.